fighting against Tarifa and people who don't want to fight Tarifa on the other side, which of course I'm part of it, because for me, I don't do that. It's not important. Anyway, so when the call, Pet Ked now says, please, I should calm down, let them, because I was so pissed off, like, what is that? Let them add Bayo to the call. Now, before this time, there has been issues on this same critical thinkers where Bayo just stays and just gaslights, and he will say, oh, if Anne was saying, oh, for fuck's sake, that means Anne was swearing at him. Anne was like, whoa, but you live in the US. Okay, I live in the Northeast. When we British say, for fuck's sake, it just means, it's like saying, I can't be asked. I don't want to deal with that. The first time they tried to resolve this queen here, and I think that York, everybody tried to resolve the first time he came to me, I have the chats, said he was sorry, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, that's fine, we resolved it. Happened the second time. So when Pet Ked, I said, see, I don't want to deal with this. I said, because it's the same pattern. Now we got talking. And then, so this call started. And the first thing Bayo said in the call was to say that, oh, Anne, what's a comment on critical thinkers where she said, obviously, I said, I don't want to be asked with that. And please, Queen, if you have the screenshot, whoever has a screenshot of that chat, if I find it, I'm going to post it. I'm going to find it. I'm sure it's on my phone somewhere. I will bring it out. And I just said, I can't be asked with that. It was not directed to Bayo. It was just a general chat. Obviously, if you want to say, maybe aimed at Pet Ked, because I'm like, I don't want to be part of the call. When Pet Ked called me, he said he didn't have an issue with it. He didn't even talk about it, because me and Pet Ked were cool. There's nothing going on at that time. So I laughed. So Bayo starts by saying, oh, there's a comment that Anne posted I find offensive. I think other people will find offensive. They will not want to join the call. And I was like, blimey. Pet Ked is on the call. I posted that post 3-4 hours before. If Pet Ked has an issue, he would have called me. Why are you speaking for him? Why are you saying what is not, that he's offended? He's not offended. And I thought, okay, I said my own side of the story. Okay, Bayo, say your own side of the story. Just talk, because I told them, I said, see, my own point was, I said, I don't want to do fracas. I don't want to be asked with all that nonsense. I refer this, I do, who cares? I don't give a shit. What's important to me is focus on the justice. I said, when we speak to Muyiwa, you know my stance. I tell him what I want to tell him, and that's it. So at this point, the conversation was getting heated up. And I said, don't gaslight me. Why are you saying this? That's the first word I first said. I said, why are you gaslighting me? I don't know if you didn't understand what the word gaslight meant at that time. The next thing he said was like, oh, what are you saying? What are you saying? The first thing that came out of his mouth, you don't go you go die, I mean, don't go better for you, something like that. And I just, please, Queen, you were on the call. The bits I miss or I'm not getting straight, please clarify, because you were on the call. So, and I said back to you. So at that time, it's gotten nasty. We now start talking. And the next thing this guy goes on to say that he's going to make me cry. That I have a disabled, no, what did he say? He said I have a handicapped child and that I am collecting benefits in the UK. By this time, when he said that, I said to him, I said, whoa, you're working all hours. Are you trying to be a lapdog to Muyiwa, you're a lapdog to York, that you don't have a mind of your own? Is that what you're trying to say? Because now we're throwing jabs. He was cussing me, I was cussing him. So I stand by every shit I said. I called him a lapdog. No offense to that. I say that. I take full responsibility for that. Now, the word lapdog just means you're just following somebody, not having a mind of your own. That's it. And he said the nasty word to me, which was saying I was going to die. And now, now everybody's voice is high, is raised up. But then he turns out to say, he just draws the bomb and says that, oh, my daughter's handicapped and I'm collecting some sort of disability benefits, for my daughter. And then the first thing he first said was, I was collecting disability. I said, no, it's not me. I'm not disabled. It's not me. And if you're saying it's me, it's you. Or your generations is going to be disabled, not me. I'm not. And then he said, your daughter is handicapped. And that your handicapped daughter is going to die. I returned back the same thing. I said, your kids are the ones that are going to die, not mine, right? And then by this time, the voice was so high, heated up. Now, for the record, I don't know who Bayo's wife is. I've never seen her with my two eyes. On that call, Queen, you were there. We didn't hear the wife's voice. I don't know what she looks. I don't even know how many kids Bayo has. I've not seen his wife. I've not seen his kids. I don't know what they look like. On the critical thinkers, that's the place we talk. The only time me and Bayo talk, which I have chats to show here, are when we're brainstorming from what Muyiwa has said. No, most times we're brainstorming Muyiwa, and he's not able to tell Muyiwa what, for instance, I can give a very typical example, the phone forensics. If you want to get nasty, I'm going to get nasty. On the phone forensics, and I was saying, oh, we need to do the phone forensics. Okay, Mr. Muyiwa, this is why don't you do this? And sometimes he's not able to tell the man straight up, like, okay, oh, this is this. He's afraid to tell him his mind. And so I just said to him, I would not, normally in that time just like say, you know what, you should be able to speak your mind. Tell him what you want to say. And this, or sometimes he will say, oh no, please, or when we do the call, or you should speak, you come or you speak to Muyiwa, tell him what, you know, what we're thinking. Because sometimes when they finish this, when we finish calls with Muyiwa, which York and Bios on the call, we come back to critical thinkers, we brainstorm, analyze. And then sometimes I try to make sure we connect to the Dumosu so that we can make sure that what we've discussed with Muyiwa that we're working on is, you know, actualized. Because when Muyiwa says, oh, I'm going to speak to legal team, obviously the only person that picks up the call is the Dumosu. Right. So that's where the Muyiwa bit is. And that's why I was saying, okay, you know what? Oh, lapdog. Now, apart from that, I don't know Bayo personally. I don't know his wife. I don't know how many kids. I don't even know what job he does. I don't. Right? Now, the reason, now, if you're throwing, if Bayo was throwing jabs at me, so I call you a lapdog, you call me an idiot, that's fine. It was when he went to my daughter and he said, oh, my daughter was handicapped. That's when I thought I was upset. And how did I deal with it? Lagata is here. At that night, I called Lagata. And please, everything I told you that night, please, you can repeat it. Queen was on the call that night. On the call when I spoke to him and the Bayo and Petked. I called Lagata, crying my eyes out. After a couple of days, I think I spoke to Mommy Light or some other people, even I think another friend of mine. When the night was over, I was going to come out and really like, yeah, because I remember on the call, I was that wound up and I said, okay, you want to get nasty? Okay, we'll take it to TikTok. By this time, you hadn't mentioned my daughter. My daughter wasn't mentioned, you know, and so I was like, oh, I was really mad after he'd mentioned my daughter and everything. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go out there. I was really mad. I wanted to go share everything I knew about justice and just say, because I didn't know that he's going to get this toxic. Why would he get this toxic when you're calling my daughter a handicap? Now, where did the pain come? The pain came for me to say, okay, come, Bayo, you're not in that party. I didn't even speak to Queen or Diola. I met them for the first time on the party, all of them. What's it called now? Diola, Olaide, Lagata and York. I only spoke to York Daddy and said, my daughter's autistic, please, because we arranged the party. So I was like, I needed a good room. So and a room that was close by. So if I needed to go and check on her, I could. I could go and check on her. That's what I thought. And I was thinking, okay, you were saying you're going to make me cry. You were saying, calling my daughter, Hannah. If you say my daughter's autistic, I'm not going to cry. Are you stupid? Autism is everybody's on the autism spectrum. So that's not going to make me upset. But you calling her handicap and then saying you're going to make me cry, or my daughter, I was collecting benefits. I was leaving them bound thinking, what load of toss are you saying? You know, so I was wound up because I thought, okay, this information, I talked about autism. Who brought information? It was obviously has to be York, because York, the other day you were defending him, and you know, when I was trying to say, I didn't say anything bad about Bayo on Tenny or Mologo's platform. So that's where the story is coming from. So obviously it has to be you, York. There's no other way. Lagata and Bayo, I don't know them to be close. I've never spoken to Bayo and Lagata, so I don't know if Bayo talks to Lagata or not, right? Lagata was only told in passing in the party that, oh, my daughter's autistic, because the girl came out to greet him, and I said, you want to say hi to Uncle Lagata? And she said hi, and she gave him a hug, and she went upstairs. And he was asking me what Danny wanted to eat and stuff. And I said, oh, and then I told him, oh, she's autistic. Olaide didn't know about this information. Neither did Queen, neither did Diola. And all of them would confirm the same. They didn't know. So when Bayo mentioned that, I thought, okay, now, if you said that to me and you said, and your daughter's autistic, I won't get upset. If you said, oh, Danny has a DLA, now let me educate you, Bayo. It's called DLA. When somebody has autism or any sort of disability, you get what is called DLA. It's paid to the child. It's nothing to do with me. Okay? Don't be stupid there. Right. So I would not be upset, because autism is not an abuse. I can actually think that I have some autism traits, because I have OCD as well. So I can think, so it's not a curse. But when you're saying my daughter is handicapped, and the way you said it, that's what got to me. Right? Now, Lagata, thankful for that. And D, another person, said to me, you know what? Why don't you turn this thing to a pain? Come and do an education on what autism is. If all of you remember that day, I never mentioned that Bayo was the one that said that. I just said somebody mentioned that. I kept quiet, but then Tony, and to correct you, York Daddy, because you know, when you talk, you can bamboozle your followers. You're not going to bamboozle people who know you. Don't even play there. At least I would say, knowing you from June on Critical Thinkers, you know I know you well. So just stop the crap, right? Tony, you're defending Tony. That's a lie. Tony did a video, and it was shared to me, where she was saying that God has punished me with my daughter. And Tony's issue had to do with PS. All right? So if you're saying one lady, I don't know which lady called you. I didn't ask any lady to call you and tell you to speak on his behalf or whatever. No. Now, to put the point clear, to say that, oh, you're saying you have kids, you never say anything nasty about me. I know your kids. Okay, you're never going to say nasty about me, yada, 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 and all of that. When Bayo did that, your daddy, you've got my number. Did you contact me? Okay, in fairness of trying to resolve anything, did you try to say, okay, you know what? Let me ask, I've heard from Bayo's side. Let me ask Anne to say what happened. Did you? No. No. Right, that's it there. Tony came out, your cackles, Tony came out and was saying that God has punished me with my daughter. I never called her name out, never dragged her, nothing. She just brought my daughter out. And she was just lucky she didn't mention, because if she mentioned my daughter's name, I would have taken legal action against her that day, because she's in Nigeria. But she didn't. So I just went to Paparino's platform and I just warned her. Then I said, you know what? Listen, don't even go there. You're my daughter. Autism is not a curse. You can call me autistic. That's fine. Most of the times when we've been on calls, your daddy has seen my daughter. And all of you lots that was in that party, my daughter was talking to you. My daughter was calling you Uncle York. So if you are saying that you never said anything to Bayo, when Bayo said my daughter was handicapped, why? I'm not even saying defend me. Why do you not correct Bayo to say, no, don't say that? I live in the UK. If Anne's daughter's autistic, but there's nothing wrong with her. Both of you were wrong. Call it quits. Leave it there. But you didn't. You did not. So please, you see that self-righteous bit? Cut it out for me. Okay? So that's what's happened. Now I'm going to pause and let Queen, who was on the call that day, please pick the bits and I'll have questions for Queen. Was there at any time where you knowing me, you, Queen, and I have been on the group, do I know Bayo's wife personally? Please answer the question yes or no. Number two, on that call, did I ever mention Bayo's wife's name to say that, okay, even the one she's pregnant with, all of this information he's saying and all the things he's saying, please narrate the story as it happened, the one you hear. Because Bayo, the truth is, if you felt like you didn't say anything, when I mentioned your name or when the issue happened, when you heard me doing that autism talk show, why didn't you come out to say the story? If you are saying that now that, oh, Anne is the one who, you didn't say anything to Anne. Anne just woke up and just started cussing you out. Why didn't you come out early on when I came out to say the story? Why didn't you narrate the story? Why are you embellishing it? Why are you missing the beats of the 10-year logo? And now more so, why are you now trying to tell me I don't have a right to say I don't want to inherit people's enemies? Did you not mention my name again? That's how you denied knowing Odumo. So later on, you guys said you knew him. Did you not mention my name again one other time when you were on York Daddy's platform before I came on Bossman to set the record straight? Listen, it's not about, whether you said A or B. There's no smoke without fire, right? My issue with you that day was the fact that you called my daughter handicapped. If you said, and your daughter's autistic, I'll give you a funny laugh, because autism is not a curse. It's not a curse. That's it. And that's why I did that awareness on LAGATA's platform. Thankful to him. He brought his doctors, they brought a friend and every other person who came on. That's why. And when I did that, a lot of people on Justice for MOHBAD came out, even Salzot came out to say that their daughter, that her son is autistic. Autism is not a disease. So I'm not upset with you for that. If you said autism, it was when you were making up lies. Because you were the genesis of that phone call was that you were trying to gaslight me to say that I posted a comment to say I don't want to be part of any, I can't be asked with any stupid call or something like that, which was not aimed at you. It was just a general comment I made on the group chat. You had a problem with it. It is preposterous that you're trying to tell somebody that they don't have a mind of their own. Is that the same game you're trying to play now? That, okay, the issue I had with you guys as well was I went for Paparino's platform. So Lagata now, oh, you shouldn't speak here. You shouldn't make. I'm not in a cult. And I don't think you are, Bayo. I don't think Lagata is or anybody is, or Justice for MOHBAD is a cult, that you think we shouldn't have a mind of our own. And I repeat it for the obstinate time. I don't inherit anybody's enemy. I don't. If you come for Anne, I'll come for you. So let today mark the end of Anne's daughter's name. If you cussed me out that day, as same as before, it would have been, this is not the first time you've had a spat with me. It would have just been that the highest I'll do, I'll just ignore you and just be done with it. or block you, or just ignore and not talk to you, or leave the group. You've that you've left critical thinkers. You've blocked me before. You blocked every other person before. Whatever you've done, and it's not a new thing. I would have done that, and that would have been it. Was because you went to say I was disabled, and then went to say my daughter was handicapped. Okay? As far as spat, I'm not bothered. If you curse me, I have a mouth, I can curse you back. Just you, I don't tell you, go need dafun or all those, I'm not Yoruba. So I would only say you're being stupid. So if I say you're stupid, you can call me so, you can call me a knob. You can actually call me a wanker, I don't care. But I never just wake up and come for you kids. I don't do that. If you never mentioned Daniela, my daughter, being a handicap or something wrong with the head, which you even confirmed to Queen again on the call after I'd gone, that there's something wrong with my daughter's head, I would not be upset. And even at best, I did an educative show. That was it. The only time I mentioned your name and Bayo's name was the day you were talking shite about me, trying to gaslight me with your Odumosu stuff. And by the way, let me say it here. When you try to gaslight me about my comment I made on Lagata's, this same platform, when I talked about the autopsy result and whatever, that you guys are twisting around, you got to hear that the pathologist has confirmed that nothing has been revealed. But you never came to the public to say, I'm sorry for trying to shit stir the pot to say that Anne had seen the result or whatever. You never came to say that. You've kept quiet on it. That's a classic act of gaslighting. So I'm going to mute for now. And when Queen is done talking, I'll start showing you my receipts on my phone. Okay, Lagata, thank you very much. Sorry for the long time, but I had to do this.
Anasuko, thank you very much for that. And again, I was only being a father and a parent on that fateful day when you called and you were crying that somebody called your daughter handicapped. And under no any circumstances, anybody should come in justice for MOHBAD, bring our family into anything has to do with justice for MOHBAD. Talk less of a minor, a child, and that is the only reason I was upset. Because if somebody said that to my child, I'm not going to take it lightly. And when you said that you want to go out, I said, no, please calm down. Just take a break. Take a minute and think about everything until you reach out to me that you would like to talk about it.
Agatha, sorry to pause you. Let me just show my first evidence, if you don't mind, my dear. Yes. Agatha, please, can you read what you see on the screen? Can you see?
What's that?
That's a post I put on there, on that critical thinkers. I just want you to see. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can't see what you read it out. Yeah. What is this?
Okay. I said emotional intelligence is when you finally realize it's not all about you. This was one of the posts I was putting up at the time where we're talking about not inheriting people's enemies. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, that's one. So continue. As every evidence I have, I'm going to be showing it. That's one. And I'm going to show my chats with Bayo so that you can see that I don't know anything. I don't know his wife. So that's just one. Please continue. Sorry.
All right. So at the end of the day, when I was told that was Bayo that said that, there's no way I'm going to be happy to hear that. That is even coming from somebody that we are fighting for justice for MOHBAD. It was that day I knew there was a group, even though I've been thinking long time when people were always tagging my name and say Lagata is the gang leader, Lagata is in the group, Lagata is the one, and I just kept quiet. And that was the day I knew about the group. I was never in the group. I was never there. And people always tag me, Lagata is the God is in the group, he's the one shaking his gang. No. So calling somebody's daughter handicapped, no matter what you guys must have argued about, no matter anything, you should never I've called somebody's daughter handicapped, even if they're handicapped. You want to say things like that, and you have already said that I will make you cry. So you definitely know what you're about to do. You knew how that person would feel if you say that word to them. Buy your billions.
Hold on, because well, let me even shock you, Lagata. While let me show you something first, because for most of the fools that write in the comment section, they're saying that's not evidence. Let me tell you something. There's one person you don't play with receipts, is Anne. Okay, I'm not a daft dummy head. Okay, I keep my facts. Except it's been now, Lagata. Please, I want you to look closely. If you see here the charts, I'm just going to show you that thing happened around November. But as I can see here, this is from here. You have, let's say, 15, 16, 17. They have gone and deleted charts in between to show the bits whereby York is calling me, saying Ilea, Tura, and all of that has been deleted. You see 19, 16, you see a gap.
You had a screenshot now.
I have a screenshot. I think I have one. I don't know if I shared it to you. I'll find out. But I'm talking about the group first. Look at the group here on these critical thinkers right now, because I know I'm no longer a member, but you can see what was there before you left. Right. 17th, 18th, 19th November. The next thing, the other bits that has to do with where he was telling me Ilea, Tura, and all of that, I can't find it. And I'm trying to find it. Right? I'm scrolling ahead. But now, let me show you another chart. Let me just quickly open my phone here that I sent to Pet Cage, where I was saying that. Right. I also mentioned here. I said, and I posted this exact photo on the group. What am I trying to establish? I'm trying to establish when I started saying that you should never inherit other people's enemies, all about the Arifa saga. One mistake you should never make in this life is to allow yourself to be recruited by someone to hate another person who hasn't wronged you. Only a fool inherits other people's enemy as a sign of loyalty. I posted this around what date is this? The 18th of November. I shared it to Pet Cage. I shared it again on that Critical Thinkers group. Right? And if Queen if she would collect her thoughts, she'll remember the same. That's number two. So as I keep getting evidence, I'll be showing you one after the one.